You guys know how I feel about bad parenting and putting your kids on the internet, and this story happens to be the horrible intersection of both of those things. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, you better. Yeah, you better.
Guys, before we get into this video, if you'd like to support the work that I'm doing on this channel, I have a Patreon. The link is in the description down below. We try to keep sponsored ads off of these videos because we know you get enough of that on this platform. So if you'd like to support us, consider becoming a patron. And thank you to everybody who has signed up so far. Now, a video has recently gone viral all over the internet of a young kid by the name of Little James Tucker, who is actually a YouTuber, witnessing his mother twerking on another man publicly at a party. Let's watch. So you get the gist of what was going on in this video. In other clips, the video actually continues and you see James Tucker actually crying after witnessing his mother behaving like this. But for his sake, we're not going to show that in this video. Now, another YouTuber was responsible for the filming of this. You witness him in the video filming her as she's dancing on him, and he decided to post this video publicly on the internet saying, "My bad, bruh, I know that was yo mama." Now, this video went on to get tens of millions of views. And of course, the general consensus is, what a horrible mother for twerking on a man in front of your 10-year-old son. But for some reason, despite having this woman setting examples for him his entire life, Lil James Tucker knew that what his mother was doing was wrong and tried to intervene and stop it from happening. And I'm not going to make the biggest deal out of this video. I get that it is wrong. I get that it is a horrible example of parenting, but I want to talk about some of the broader ideas that we can sort of glean from watching a clip like this. One, that children have this sort of innocence in them, this goodness in them, and they want to see that reflected in the world in front of them. And to watch your mother, who you grow up with, who is supposed to be the ultimate role model for you, act like this in public at an event is just devastating. You quite literally witness this young kid's heartbreak as he recognizes that his mom is doing this and attempts to intervene. And you'd like to think that if the internet can come to the consensus that this behavior is wrong, that at least one person at that party/event would have been able to intervene before a 10-year-old child would have to stop that behavior from happening. But instead, when James decides to cut off what is happening right in front of him, everybody at the party seemingly starts to laugh and mock him. Some even pull out their iPhones to begin filming the altercation. What does it say about the people around him that he is the sole person to stop this from happening, a 10-year-old boy? And how long is he expected to keep that innocence when everybody around him is setting a poor example of what you should do? To provide a little more context as to what was happening in this video, James and his mother were attending an event called Bad Kid Prom. This is seemingly an event for YouTubers and content creators and is supposed to be family friendly. Clearly, their definitions and my definitions of family friendly are very, very different. And as I said before, nobody validates the feelings of this young boy. Instead, he is mocked, he is laughed at, he is filmed, and then that video is posted on the internet to get tens of millions of views. What an embarrassing experience to go through as a 10-year-old. But given the fact that he is a 10-year-old YouTuber, which means his mother is essentially filming him and putting his content on the internet and exploiting him for likes and views, he's probably used to public embarrassment. And I have my own vendetta against parents that decide to film their children for family content or make their children into influencers, but we'll save that for another video. What's most heartbreaking in this entire situation is to quite literally in real time watch a child lose his innocence and lose respect for his mother and the people around him. And when you grapple with the fact that it seems as though he respects her more than she respects herself, it says a lot about the situation that he's growing up in. And again, how long until that innocence is lost? How long can he continue to stand up for her? How long can he continue to intervene in these situations before he recognizes that this is just a perpetual cycle that he will be stuck in, until he recognizes that this behavior has been normalized? And we know what happens here because we see it all the time. We see innocent children who are corrupted by the behavior of their parents, and then they turn out to be just like them. Now, of course, we hope that doesn't happen. We hope he keeps his sense of integrity, and we hope he keeps his moral convictions when it comes to things like this. But when you're 10 years old, you only know what's around you. You only know the behavior that you see, and if that behavior is continually reinforced reinforced, at some point you give up. And when you mix that in with this video being posted on the internet for everybody to see, it becomes another level of negative reinforcement. He's never going to attempt to do this again, especially at an event where people have their phones out and are constantly filming him. The YouTuber who filmed this encounter should be ashamed of himself, but more so than that, his mother should be ashamed of herself for doing this in public and allowing it to be filmed and laughing it off when her son intervenes. One of the worst things that you can do when a child comes to you with their concerns is to fail to validate their feelings. This doesn't mean that we blindly agree with our children. It means that we sit down and we take them seriously when they come to us with concerns, especially concerns that are about your bad behavior as a parent. It's rarely these days that we get kids that have more wisdom than the parents and adults around them. Oftentimes it's the opposite. But when you do have a child that is displaying that wisdom, you should nurture it and facilitate him being able to express himself and validate his feelings. And I should mention that Lil James Tucker originally went viral on the internet because he was articulate and personable. He even got on the Steve Harvey show because he was an exemplary child.
Please welcome back to the show, everybody, Lil James Tucker.
And instead of fostering that and seeing how far he can go, his mother decides to twerk on a random man at a party and have that posted on the internet. But this is what happens when you exploit young children for views. At some point, you have to up the stakes. At some point, the threshold gets so high for engagement that you have to do crazier and crazier things, like be a mother twerking on a man at a party. Anyways, y'all, I'll get off my soapbox. I know it may seem like I'm making a big deal out of this video, but it truly does mean a lot to see a child be influenced like this by the behavior that is displayed around him, and I feel for James. I feel for his experience being a child influencer who's exploited for views. I feel for his experience at this Bad Kid Prom event, which the name of that event is so ironic looking back at this video. And I hope that at the end of the day, as he continues on his journey, that he keeps the light that he has in him, that he keeps the innocence that he has, and he continues to correct his mother when she is doing bad acts like this in public. But those are just my thoughts, guys. Drop your thoughts in the comments down below. Did you see this video on the internet? If so, what was your response to it? How'd you feel about this behavior being displayed in public? I'm sure you'll have a lot to say in the comments. As always, if you disagree with me, duke it out, but do so respectfully. And if you like this video, like, subscribe, click the notification bell to be notified every single time we post a video for you guys, which is every day. And I will see you next time.
Yeah, you better. Yeah, you better.